This is PkmnMstrz, a Pokemon Go podcast, your critical hit of Pokemon Go and the news from the Pokemon world around us. Logic and adultiness don't always apply. Here are your hosts, Jolt Switch Mac and Roxy.
Hi everyone and welcome to another week. Now it is just me this week. We've got a whole bunch going on here. I'll be honest, I'm recording Tuesday morning, the 14th, which will be releasing as soon as I finish editing here. But since last Thursday, Roxy's been dilated for that baby to come, so we're kind of in between a whole bunch right now and just trying to make everything work. So now before we get too deep, of course, I always like to make sure that everyone is aware our podcast is part of that Pokemon Professor Network, so just make sure to take a peek at PkmnMstrz.com for all the details and see if there's anything that you might want to tune into. Now taking a quick peek at what is coming forward, we've got those spotlight hours, some more information on Homefest, of course, and that Community Day coming up on the 19th. Now the Willow Report itself has completed, so we won't have too much information there. And I want to keep it quick this week because I got to make sure I'm taking care of Roxy there and trying to get everything sorted out. So first and foremost, we did have a spotlight hour for Talo. I'll be honest, neither of us really did take part. But, I mean, it's 2 times transfer candy. It's not really my go-to. I've got tons of candy for all sorts of stuff. I don't really do the evolution pieces anymore, so having that was just not something that was on my radar here. Moving forward to July 14th, so today, at 6 p.m. local time, you'll see Zubat in the wild with 2 times evolution experience points. I'm going to do my best to try and remind Roxy, depending on what's going on. If anyone wants to tag her on Twitter, by all means, let her know, just to make sure she's getting the experience points she needs. Now, Community Day is upcoming here, and it will be this Sunday, the 19th. So, I mean, I am off work, but we'll have to see what's going on. Because, I mean, if the baby comes between now and then, we're gonna have our hands full. But I'll take a look and see what's going on and see what we can have happening there. So just keep in mind that if you do evolve to Gengar, you will get that Ghost-type charge attack, Shadow Punch. And you can do those evolutions for up to 2 hours after the event itself. Now you can take snapshots throughout the event for a surprise. Most likely going to be 5 ghastly photo bombs. So keep that in mind and take a look. Again, Community Day is that 6-hour window, so between 11 a.m. local time right till 5 p.m. local time. So you'll have tons of time available there for you, and we still do have that special research as well. The Great Ghastly, which should be $1 US. So if you're interested in some additional rewards, take a peek. Keep in mind that it is 1/4 hatch distance on those eggs, and your incense will last for 3 hours during the event itself. Now as for Homefest, we are winding down that battle week. It will complete on the 15th at 10 p.m. local time. I've been able to complete all my sets of research. So has Roxy, so that's always a good sign. Now that battle-themed event that we didn't really hear anything about on the 12th was Go Rocket Takeover. So if anyone didn't get to TM away frustration, sorry you missed out. Moving forward, we will be seeing week 3 of Friendship. Now that'll start up on July 17th at 8 a.m. local time and run right until July 22nd at 10 p.m. local time. So it is designed to have you appreciating all your friends, whether they be your buddy Pokemon or your fellow trainers. Still going to have that 3 sets of tasks to do. It will include a Alolan Raichu, Patillo, which is actually going to be its Pokemon Go debut, a Lucky Egg, and a few other pieces there as well for you. Now the pieces that we'll all be seeing for the research completed will be Team Instinct completing 1 million research. We'll get you a Togetic during that GoFest celebration. Team Mystic will get us a Dratini. And Valor, of course, with the 1 million completed research, Litwick. Now, if you do complete those 3 tasks, as you hopefully have throughout the original set, you'll have that GoFest Elite Friendship Challenge. And as we have already seen, it is more difficult, so keep that in mind. It's probably be sending so many gifts to your friends and getting hearts with your buddies, so keep that in mind. Now we will be seeing summer-themed Pokemon in the wild, hatching, and in raids. Shiny Bellsprout will come to the party. Patillo will be available when the weather is sunny, and in 5k eggs, and it is that debut for that Pokemon as well. We'll also see a summer-style Pikachu, which I have a feeling it's going to be another sun hat, but we'll have to wait and see. Make sure to take a snapshot for some additional rewards there. Now, as I'd mentioned there with the Willow report, the last sort of piece that came out was actually some of the players throughout the world had received 2 emails from Team Rocket. One, as though they were part of Team Rocket, and 2, saying, please disregard and delete that last email. And then, of course, it did lead forward to that Rocket takeover that we experienced. So, I mean, aside from that, we don't have too much really to go through. Looking into the battle arena to sort of close out this episode here, we do have the Master League ongoing until the 20th, so until the Monday after Community Day at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where it'll switch to all of the leagues simultaneously. And we do have that Premier Cup running until July 27th, which will end out Season 2 here for us. Now, within the midst of everything, we actually have Silpharina's Continental Finals going out right now. They have completed their snake draft, which is, if you've never really experienced a snake draft, it's similar to first picks, then second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth, because we've got a total of 8 people. They're actually battling in a double elimination tournament, and then 8 would be able to then pick first in the next round. So 8 picks 8th, and then 9th, and then it goes back up. Just like a snake when you're playing Snake. What was really neat about it was that they were able to pick one banned Pokemon before they started the draft itself. So it was neat to see which people would ban certain things and how those teams would unfold. So each of those regions will be taking a look at battling out that double elimination tournament. Big congrats goes out to Holden McGroin, or Holden McNuggets now, because he is the Canadian in the North American finals. So it'll be really interesting to see how things unfold there for him. We've got our fingers crossed, and he's Team Canada at this point. On top of that here, we do have the other tournaments that we were mentioning, the Catacomb Cup that everyone is already taking part in. If you haven't started building your team yet, I mean, we're about halfway through the month, so you might want to get on top of that. We do have Go Live covering Southern Illinois' Event of Champions. That is on the 19th, so after Community Day at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we will be seeing Phase 1 and 2 of that tournament. Again, Phase 1 will be all of the people who qualify for it taking part in the Catacomb Cup. The top 16, including ties, will advance to Round 2, which they'll be playing that Premier Cup in the Master League. So just make sure you're tuning in. Like I said, Go Live will be covering it. It'll be on Go Live's Twitch. Another piece I'd spoken to last week is the Trinity Cup. Now, it is a team tournament, as I've mentioned there, with a twist, meaning that it is single-person submission, and then they tie you together with a team. We are still awaiting all the different bits and pieces to that, being able to see all the different submissions, all the different teams. I'm wondering if we get more people than they expected, if they'll expand to having more than 3 teams, but again, we'll just have to wait and see. Now, I will make sure that the Discord, as well as the form to fill out to enter into the tournament itself, is in the description here. Make sure to jump into that Discord, see what's going on, enter your name if you're interested in battling with some additional people there, and maybe making some new friends and trying out some new strategies. Now, before we wind down, I will speak to the fact that our podcast is powered by Patreon. So for as little as $1 a month, you can help the content that we have been creating here for you. Any level of support does help immensely. Now, if monetary support isn't quite your thing, just make sure to drop a rating on, whatever podcast provider you're listening on that allows you to do so. Just show us that you like what you hear. Now, to follow that up, we will be going on a bit of a hiatus for the next month or so for obvious reasons. We got a baby on the way, which means that we will be putting that Patreon on pause. So never fear, patrons. We've got you in mind. So if you are interested in being a patron, feel free to jump in. Like I said, you'll be on pause for a little bit while we, pick things back up and try to get everything back in order there. Now, just to wind down for the week, I know that hearing we're going on a bit of a break is going to be difficult to hear in general there. But we're still here. We'll be on socials as much as we can, hoping to maybe take some more pictures. You'll see lots of pictures of all sorts of things, baby included most likely, on Instagram as well as Twitter. So feel free to, like, follow, and subscribe on all of those different platforms. We'll keep posting. We'll be available. We'll be able to chat. We might have some sort of news bits coming forward, things to remind you of what's going on. So, for instance, we know that we've got our spotlight hours. We might pop up and just let you know every once in a while, hey, don't forget about spotlight hour. Here's the Pokemon. Here's the, reward and everything. But we're still here. We love hearing from everyone, so make sure you reach out if you have anything to say or any well wishes, or always, we love to hear them. Now, keep in mind that you can tune into anyone on the Pokemon Professor Network while we're sort of out of commission with not creating those longer episodes that you're used to. So make sure to just support everyone else there. So, for instance, Lured Up, Special Conditions, Gotta Watch 'Em All, the Purified Podcast. Take a listen. Maybe you'll find something new that you like to listen to, and we'll be back in the full swing of things once we can there. So again, make sure that you're tuning in on Spotify, Google, Apple Podcasts, as well as Stitcher, which actually just got purchased by SiriusXM, so I'm curious if we're on SiriusXM now. And of course, iHeartRadio. Again, like, follow, and subscribe on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can always send us an email at joltswitch@outlook.com. Usually we'd be reading them on air, but as we're going on hiatus, I will be sure to respond as quickly as I can. And you can even leave us a text message at 548-800-5091. It's always on my phone, so I can make sure to respond to messages there. And if you want to leave a voicemail, just click that link in the description there. We're always happy to hear anything that you've got to say, and we'll include as much as we can that we hear there once everything comes back to normal. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for the supporters. And like I said, we'll be back in a month, maybe two. We'll let you know what's going on and maybe introduce you to our little Pokebean. Have a good one, guys.